23rd. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, sir. Hello. All you, Twyla.
Councillor Albert?
Assuming he is en route, because I haven't heard otherwise.
Okay. Councillor Colby?
Here.
Councillor Ganong?
Here.
Councillor La Rochelle?
Here.
Councillor Ward?
Here.
Councillor Lunt?
Here.
And Councillor Fellows?
Here.
Next item, Twyla.
Good news and recognition?
Anybody got any that they would want to share tonight?
Got something I'm sure everybody's seeing it. I just want to congratulate Brett and the town for actually working for the downtown closure. That sounds really cool. I think the publicity that's going to be out there has already been shared. I think a lot of excitement about it. So I'm just really excited that they're actually able to make that happen and see how it plays out. So I think that's great news, and I think hopefully it works as well as it's planned. So.
Right on. Anybody has any questions on that? Brett doesn't hide very well, so please reach out to him by all means. Anybody else? Seeing none, we're going to move on, Twyla.
There are no public hearing. Oh, yes, public hearings. Once the chair opens any public hearing, those present who wish to speak may enter the room and approach the lectern, one individual at a time, to address the council chair. Please use the microphone, state your name for the record. Those listening from Town Hall live stream video are now invited to send written comments by emailing award@lisbonme.org once this public hearing has been opened. Councillor Ward will receive and review emails at this time.
Checking that right at the moment, Twyla, and what I would offer for the listening public, if anybody is listening at home and you missed the section, I will read it through the course of the meeting by all means. So at this time, I typed in the wrong mute tab. Try that again. I have nothing. So you can,
Okay. Next
next item, Twyla.
is audience participation and response for agenda items. So those who wish to speak would enter the room.
We have nobody waiting in the wings, and I have no emails, so that item is closed as well, too. Again, for the listening public, anybody that may be a few minutes late, like us tonight, by all means, I will read it throughout the course if something does come in. Thank you. Next.
Is the consent agenda. The consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be considered for adoption by one motion with no separate discussion unless a councillor requests an item be removed for immediate discussion. Any councillor wishing to remove an item may do so now. Seeing none. Order 2020-127 to approve the municipal accounts payable warrants totaling $180,286.51. Municipal payroll warrants, none. School accounts payable warrants, none. School payroll warrants totaling $684,711.55. Also, the minutes of June 16, 2020, and the Mid-Coast Humane Contract, which is the animal shelter management.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I need a second.
Second.
I got a first, I got a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Order passed, 6-0.
Mr. Albert is on the way. He'll join us in process, so just reflect it before the vote where he arrives.
Okay. I'll make a note when he
Yep.
did arrive.
Next.
Council orders, resolutions, and ordinances. Order 2020-120. This must be 128. To adopt the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget resolution. Be it hereby.
Can I
Do you want me to
request
read
that
it?
that item actually be done after the reports or something, just as stalled to make sure that
Make
Mr.
sure
Albert
he's
is here for that?
Okay. We can move to other business if you want.
Why don't we do that, please?
Okay. Other business, council committee reports.
Planning, sir.
There's no planning board meeting this week, and the next one will be next month.
And they
LDC, sir.
have elections there.
LDC, there is a meeting planned on this month. The best thing to do is if you have any questions, just reach out to Brett. He will have the information on location and timing.
Perfect. Recreation and school, we'll get those from Mr. Albert when he comes through the door. County, there's nothing. Library?
The school, the children's reading program, the distance version is starting up a week from today on June 30th. So kids can come in and get their supplies and take home. And it should be a great program to do distance, like, rather than the traditional, everybody sits around in a circle, but now you can still have activities for your kids over the summer that coordinate through the library. And if you haven't signed up for that, I'd definitely get your kids involved.
Thank you, sir. And water?
There's been nothing since the last meeting.
That's what I didn't remember either. Town manager?
So we had our pre-construction meeting today for the Pine Woods Road project, so that's going to get underway next week. And the completion date, estimated completion date, will be around mid to the end of October. So we're hoping to get everything paved, both coats, so that we won't have anything to do next year.
Mr. Chair, may I?
Please.
On that, Diane, was the water department going to change some fire hydrants or something out there? Remember one of the meetings?
Yeah, they have the plans. We gave them a set of plans. So, yeah, they know everything that's going on, and I think they were going to do that. So.
Okay. Were they actually part of the pre-meeting, or is that something they typically don't attend?
No, they typically wouldn't be at a pre-construction meeting.
Okay. Just curious, that's all. Thank you.
Any information for the listening dot for how the 196 project's progressing?
This one here, it's actually it's ahead of schedule. I think they're going to start paving within the next 2 weeks.
Perfect.
I don't know how far down they got to Lewiston. Did they get all the way down?
They are at the Chickadee and coming back the
and
other way.
they're coming back. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
within the next 2 weeks, they're going to be paving. So they are ahead of schedule. We're getting all the millings down to the Rumble Mill Park.
Yep.
Randy's been down there working all week getting that ready, and they were supposed to start crushing yesterday.
They've actually made great progress
Yep,
crushing.
so everything's
Amazing how
looking
quickly
good.
they do that.
Yeah, as an observation, I figured they had to be ahead because planning being in front of Midtown on Friday, I'm sure wasn't something they were prepared for in the beginning of the week.
Right.
That minor issue, they handled it quite well. So the fact that it was kind of an observation with how it didn't actually, like last time, result in night work, but for the minor inconvenience associated with that, I applaud their effort for being ahead of schedule.
Yeah. The other thing is with the millings we're getting from that project and what we'll get from the Pine Woods Road project, we should have enough to do the Rumble Mill parking lot, do the parking that on that piece of land that we have an easement on behind Rusty Lantern.
Yep.
And the Union Street parking lot and the Booker Street.
Perfect.
We should have enough to do all of that.
Yeah, recycling's a good thing, right?
It is, and it's not, it'll be some labor on our part, but the material, it's all going to be free, pretty much.
Mr. Chair, may I ask another
Please.
I
question?
have a related but
Yeah.
unrelated question.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Go and then Don.
Yep. So I was reading the article that was put out today about the Main Street closure, and they're talking about the detours, with the one going on Summer Street for the 125, and then I guess down School Street coming down 125. Are we going to, and maybe I'm sure the chief is already on top of it, are we going to be proactive, maybe putting out there the speeding signs out there, the flashing ones, because we have a couple now, right? We have the mobile unit, then we have one that straps on a pole.
I'll make a note of that.
It'd just be, I would think that'd be the biggest concern that maybe the local residents have is
Raceway.
the increased traffic and the people kind of zooming. We all know there's always concerns on School Street when
Right.
it comes to the idea of traffic. I'm sure Summer Street being nicely paved, and it
Yep.
just may be nice to show that we're trying to be ahead of any
What we're
concerns.
expecting.
Yep, I'll check on that for you.
Yep.
Don?
I just had a question that's unrelated. Well, it's kind of related. It's about paving from last year. I had people ask me on Franklin Street when the grading is going to finish. And I would like to ask Randy that, but
Franklin Street, okay.
Yeah, it's not, they've done the driveways, approaches and all that, but they're still not filled on the side.
Yeah, they haven't finished yet. They're still working on doing all the cleanup.
Okay.
Oh.
Anything else, the town manager, guys?
The only other thing is, I was looking at the revenues today. We got the revenue sharing in. And we've exceeded my projections for this fiscal year. We had about 31, we needed to collect 31,000 in June, and our revenue sharing was over 100,000. So we're going to be over collected on that.
That's good.
And then I looked on Monday for the excise tax. At one point, the excise tax, it was over 300,000 undercollected. As of Monday, we were 93,000 undercollected. So I'm hoping the rest of this week and the first couple of days of next week, we're going to really close that gap. And from what the girls are telling me, people are coming in registering brand new vehicles. There's a lot of new vehicles being registered right now. So, and everybody has to be registered by July 11th. So we're going to close that gap. We may get a little bit next, in the new fiscal year, but I'm not going to worry about it now that I know I've got plenty of money in the revenue sharing to make up the difference in the excise tax.
Perfect.
That's all I have.
Anything else from business, not businesses, buildings opening back up or anything that we come in the last week?
Nothing new. No, the rec department started their programs Monday, their summer programs, and they're using 4 different sites. The school is helping out with that, and he's got, what did he tell me? I think he's had over 70 kids signed up. We're hoping we'll get some more, but that seems to be going well right now. The
Transfer
library's
station?
going well.
Transfer station, everybody should be happy. I mean,
Yep. Well,
I
we've
mean, I
got the
stopped
plan
in
in
last
place, and
weekend and it
it's
was business
actually
as usual.
the way we've got it set up right now. I think we're going to keep it set up that way because we're getting more revenue in. Before, when it was a free-for-all, anybody just coming in and not being checked, I think we were missing revenue on people dropping stuff off and leaving that they should have been paying for. Now they have to pay before they can go in. So we're gaining more revenue that way. And the other thing is the cardboard, the revenue's going up for cardboard, which is good. And we're looking at increasing the revenue there as well. They say going into next year, we're going to have the price per ton is going to continue to escalate, which is good.
Take the positives where we can find them.
Exactly.
If nothing else, we'll circle back. I've stalled long enough. Mr. Albert can join us or meet us in the parking lot. Back to the school budget, I guess, Twyla.
All right. Order 2020-128, to adopt the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget resolution. Be it hereby resolved by the Town Council of the Town of Lisbon as follows. For general government, the total, $1,724,174. For public safety, the total, $2,736,798. For public works, total, $2,905,191. For public services, the total, $971,517. For general assistance, county tax, economic development, abatements, debt service, and bonds, the total is $1,353,855. Be it ordered that the municipal budget for the Town of Lisbon for the fiscal year commencing on July 1, 2020 and ending on June 30th, 2021 be and hereby is adopted with a total expenditure of $9,691,535, balanced with a total of $3,392,859 in estimated revenue. A summary of appropriations is attached to this resolution as Exhibit A, and a summary of the estimated revenue is attached to this resolution as Exhibit B. Also be it ordered that the assessor of the Town of Lisbon be and hereby is directed to assess a tax upon all real estate in Lisbon and liable to be taxed therein, and to assess the owner of personal estate liable to be taxed therein on the first day of April 2020 AD, and in accordance with the provisions of the state of Maine in such cases made and provided, make perfect lists under her hand of such assessments and commit the same to the collector of taxes of the Town of Lisbon on or before the first day of July 2020. All taxes assessed as above and committed to the collector shall be due on July 1, 2020. That having set the date on which the first installment of taxes shall become due, to wit, July 1, 2020, and any taxes that remain unpaid after September 15, 2020, shall bear interest from September 16, 2020, at a rate of 8% per annum. Said interest to be added to and become a part of said taxes. That having set the date on which the second installment of taxes shall become due, to wit, July 1, 2020, any taxes remaining unpaid after March 15, 2021, shall bear interest from March 16, 2021, at a rate of 8% per annum. Said interest to be added to and become a part of said taxes to fix and the rate of interest paid for overpayments at 3% annum. And also be it ordered that we, the municipal officers of the Town of Lisbon, Maine, upon request of Diane Barnes, tax collector, treasurer of said town, hereby authorize and direct the tax collector and treasurer, pursuant to Title 36, Maine Revised Statutes Annotated, Section 906, to apply any tax payment received after an individual as payment for any property tax against outstanding or delinquent taxes due on said property in chronological order, beginning with the oldest unpaid tax bill. However, no such payment may be applied to any tax for which an abatement application or appeal is pending unless approved in writing by the taxpayer. Be it ordered that the tax collector be and hereby is authorized to accept money prior to the date of the 2022 tax commitment in prepayment of taxes at 0% interest and to issue receipt for the same. It shall be discretionary with the tax collector, town manager, to make arrangements through the Town of Lisbon Tax Club policy with any taxpayer for a schedule of monthly payments without interest and such arrangements as they jointly deem necessary. Be it ordered that the following categories of state funds be accepted during the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2020 and ending June 30th, 2021. Municipal revenue sharing, local road assistance, state aid to education, including federal pass-through funds and property tax relief, snowmobile reimbursement money, tree growth reimbursement, general assistance reimbursement, the BETE exemption reimbursement, the homestead exemption reimbursement, the state grant and or other funds. Be it also ordered that the sewer budget for the Town of Lisbon for the fiscal year commencing on July 1, 2020 and ending on June 30, 2021 be and hereby is adopted with a total expenditure of $1,193,575, balanced with a total of $1,364,655 in estimated revenue. A summary of appropriations and estimated revenue is attached to this resolution as Exhibit A. Pursuant to Title 30A MRSA Section 3406 and the Town of Lisbon Sewerage Ordinance, the Town Council hereby adopts the following rates for the town sewage works. $7.55 per 100 cubic feet, domestic sewer rate. $2.64 per 100 cubic feet, main electronics. 12 cents per gallon, septic disposal, and 6 cents per gallon for holding tank waste disposal. The treasurer of the Town of Lisbon is hereby directed to assess sewer service charges on a quarterly basis as determined by the water meter readings. All sewer service charges remaining unpaid after the date which they are due shall bear interest at a rate of 8% per annum. Said interest to be added to and become a part of said sewer service charges. Be it ordered that the tax club policy, which was adopted in November of 2014, is approved as presented. Be it ordered that the capital improvement plan for the Town of Lisbon for the fiscal year commencing on July 1, 2020 and ending on June 30th, 2021 be and hereby is adopted as presented and attached to this resolution as Exhibit C.
That's it.
I need a
Make the
motion.
To accept that as spoken.
Second.
Any questions on any of the content of what Twyla just put before us? It's the heavy lifting for visually, audibly, I should say, reporting what we've actually done since January. Any questions on any of that content?
Good.
Roll call or all in favor? Twyla, which way do we play it?
You can do either. Probably in the past you've done a roll call.
That's what I thought. We did it with school, so why don't we go with roll call, please?
All right. Counselor Albert,
Yes.
Counselor La Rochelle,
Yes.
Counselor Ward,
Yes.
Counselor Lunt,
Yes.
Counselor Ganong,
Yes.
Counselor Colby,
Yes.
and Counselor Fellows.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. The order passed.
Moving right along, Twyla.
So are we back to appointments? Did we go that far? We did the town manager's report,
Yes,
correct?
Appointment.
I stopped short of asking for somebody to vouch for Mr. Henderson.
Right,
The
so-
appointment tonight is a LDC regular member for 2021. Would anybody make the motion to appoint Mr. Henderson?
I'll make that motion.
I have a first and I have a second.
I'll second.
Got it?
Mhm.
Okay. Who wants to speak on his behalf, just for the listening dot?
Actually, I don't know him personally, but actually looking through his resume, he actually has been pretty involved in everything from Tourist Commission to
Right.
many other items, so.
Probably know him most from the Little Ridge Farm. So it's somebody that's actually got an invested interest right here and wants to do right by it. So I don't want to slow anybody's roll either, too. So all in favor?
Order passed, 7-0.
Welcome, Mr. Henderson. Next file.
Council Communications.
Anybody have anything they would like to share that's not on the agenda?
I just have a question.
Yep.
Somewhere along the line, we were dealing with the transfer station, and we decided that we didn't want to do that during budget season. So will that be planned to come up again this year?
It needs to be revisited when we actually get back to more business as usual, because I would like that to be one of the first duties that we actually put to a finance committee. That's a topic that needs a lot of discussion. We've heard some of it. I would like somebody of that capacity to go at something and give it the time that it's actually due, to be trying to be ahead of it for next year's budget, when we could actually make some real decisions. If you have another avenue for consideration, we could definitely consider that. What I would offer in that is we typically go towards the one meeting a month in the summer. I would hold that thought for a September timeframe if you had something you would want to put into that, Don.
No, I was just interested in
Where it was in dialogue.
coming
Yeah.
to an end with it somewhere or another.
Yeah.
Over the course of the next year before we get back into budget.
No, it's much like the finance committee. I believe we have 7 people that had expressed interest in that. We kind of put them on hold. We owe it to them to be able to move that dialogue forward too, and I think that this is a perfect example for something that would be in their wheelhouse.
We seem to be learning some things from what we're doing now, so.
Yeah, one of the things, take it with a grain of salt. I think Fern said it best when we first entered the building closures. We're looking at a different level of service, and it could change the equation on what we actually do with that facility. I mean, Diane mentioned it as well too, is that just pushing the collection house back and using it for more of that kind of stewardship, that's a real change. So that could be factored into the equation, and it's been a learning curve that's played itself out in the last 4 to 6 weeks as we've been testing it through time. So by all means. By all means. Anybody else? For the listening dot, the things that I would point to would be July 14th is the school referendum vote. I would encourage the voters to get out to do so. If you're recapping what happened on this episode a week ago, we voted on the school budget. If you guys have any questions, I would ask you to contact your counselors, or more specifically your school committee members, because again, it is a decision that both bodies have blessed and we feel are in the best interest of the community to support come that vote. The next item would be July 21st is our next scheduled meeting, and the August meeting is scheduled for August 11th. And seeing nothing else, we'll move on unless another counselor's got something. Twyla?
All right. Audience participation for new items. So those who wish to speak may enter the room and approach the lectern, and those listening may email award@lisbonme.
I've got nothing, Twyla. So we'll move on.
There's no executive session. Order 2020-132 adjourned.
I need the motion.
I'll make the motion.
I need a second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Order passed, 7-0.
Thank you
Stand
all.
adjourned.
We just have the warrant that we need to.
Yes, we do need a signature. We have some clean
Nice.
pens up here.
6:25, 7:25.
Yeah, that's a record.
It's not a record. Cassie still has it, but.
Vote in, vote out, pretty much, right?